Yo, what is up, guys? We are back for week 8 of the NPL with my team builder for the match versus the Litchfield Park Larvitars and their coach Nate, aka NCE Squared. I think that's his YouTube. Very cool guy, but not the most successful player this season. I think he's 1-6 right now before this battle, or 2-5. I don't know. I definitely want to win this one. I think it's his first league, so he's not the most experienced player, but definitely has a very threatening team. We are 5-2 right now. Definitely want to win another one, so we basically take over the division, like, and have a very good shot of like winning it. I think the next best team in the division is at 3-4. Sorry, and like if we get this nice 6-2 record, we are looking very strong for the last 4 games of the season. Looking at my opponent's roster, he has the Mega Absol, the Conkeldurr, the Zapdos, the Rotom Heat, the Lucario, Flygon, Gramble, Milotic, Volcarona, Virizion, and Cradily. Overall, very solid roster. Mega Absol, Conkeldurr, both really strong physical attackers. Like Mega Absol obviously can be special and especially offensive, and like it would be a threat if he brings like a mixed variant because that would deal with my checks to it like very well, I guess. But I'm not too afraid of this thing. It's easy to revenge kill and like has to rely on Sucker Punch to kill certain threats. So yeah, I'm not too worried about that. Conkeldurr also is very easily checked by most of my mons. Rotomir and Zapdos are always a problem because my team doesn't deal too well with strong like electric types and fire types as well. Like I don't have the best switch into that. Rotom Wash is basically my only fire resist and like doesn't appreciate like a Specs or Life of T-Volt from Rotom Heat, so I don't want to bring it, to be honest. Lucario definitely can be a threat. I kind of designed this team to take on both physical and special Lucario with my wall core, but definitely a threat that I have to play around really well to not get swept by. Flygon Gramble like are solid. I don't expect Gramble to come. It's not that good versus me. I have two poison types to deal with it really well, and I don't have a dragon type, so no reason to bring a fairy. Milotic definitely is gonna come. It's basically his only switch into a bandit we create from Victini, and you see I bring that. I expect Volcarona to come beside that. Like I don't know. I really expect Rotom Heat, Flygon, Rotom Heat, Lucario, Milotic, and Volcarona. The rest is really up in the air. He could bring the Flygon, could bring the Virizion, the Conkeldurr, the Absol, the Zapdos. I don't know. But like I designed this team to like take on, of course, every threat he wants to bring, and like get a nice W this week. The first one I put on the team is my Victini, Choice Bandit Adamant. I contemplated going Choice Scarf or Jolly or something, but I needed the like Adamant band set to like really punch holes through his team. Actually, 2-hit KOs his entire squad, if not Okos. Like Absol and Conkeldurr are 1-hit KO. Zapdos is 1-hit KO most of the time, unless it's like max physically defensive. Rotom is 2 KO by the V create. Lucario obviously as well. Flygon can't take 2 V creates, even if it's like physically defensive. I can easily like play around that. Um, Gramble obviously cannot check me. Milotic can take like 1 V create. If it's leftovers, it has a chance to take 2, but not after rocks. Because V create does 52% or something like that. And like obviously I can go for Bolt Strike. Volcarona, Virizion, Cradily all drop to a V create. So very simple set here this week. Just like V create to hit everything besides like Rotom Heat and Milotic, Bolt Strike obviously for the Milotic then in that case, and like, U-turn just to pivot out on basically everything if he has the Mega Absol in the back, because I don't want to be pursuit trapped by that. Definitely if I bring Victini out versus maybe a Rotom or something, I have to click like U-turn every single time just because I don't want to get pursuit trapped and killed by Mega Absol. Obviously, there would be a mind game with like Sucker Punch or Pursuit, but I think he would be forced to Sucker Punch. But I don't know. I don't want to be Pursuit trapped and play the 50-50s. It's also like a backup switch into a Lucario set because Lucario has to run Earthquake or Stone Edge or like Dark Pulse if it's a special variant to deal with me, and that would like hinder its ability to hit my entire team. Like if it's a four attack life of Lucario, I can deal with it much easier than with a SD or Nasty Plot Lucario. Trick is here just to like possibly like trick Volcarona into like Quiver Dance or something if it's more a more bulky variant that I outspeed, to trick possibly the Cradily or the Melodic, to trick a Rotom Heat if it's a very defensive variant or the Zapdos. And I just like didn't need another move, so I decided to go with Trick, um, just to like possibly cripple some stuff on his team. Don't expect I don't expect myself to use it, but yeah, it's here just as my fourth move. The speed is enough to outspeed Max Rotom Heat, which is nice, so I don't have to like go Jolly or something. I can just spam V-Create every single time, like whenever I'm out and he doesn't bring a Mega Absol. Mm, very simple set here, but I expect to do a lot of work. Even if it gets just one kill and like punches a big hole into my Melodic, that could help my squad out really, really well. So the next 2 months are basically my way to deal with the Lucario like more easily with if it's a setup variant with like Sword Sense or the Nasty Plot. The first check I have is my Rocky Helmet Tangrowth, making his like debut without an Assault Vest. I think I've run Assault Vest like every single time besides this week, so that's cool. Makes physically defensive so that I can take like 2 or 3 close combats from Lucario with life orb. I can like take a +2 life orb, adamant close combat from Lucario with ease. I cannot really touch it back that hard, but like I can hit it with a power whip to do like easy 40% and put it in range from my Crobat, what is it called? Acrobatics, which I have on that thing, to revenge it. So um, definitely a solid check to physical Lucario. Also deals very well with stuff like Flygon, Granbull, Virizion, especially that thing could be a threat if my Tangrowth goes down. Deals with the Conkeldurr like Poison Jab or Ice Punch do 40-ish% if it's like a Life Orb attacker or Iron Fist or something. So I'm not too afraid of this. Mega Absol obviously can 2 KO me with Knockoff plus Sucker Punch, but I get Rocky Helmet damage off, can Toxic it, can Protect to see what it wants to do and like hit it with a Power Whip to basically like do 80% or something like that to him. Besides that, like overall, a very solid check to every of his physical attackers, but definitely not the best answer to stuff like Rotom Heat, Zapdos, or Melodic. Um, Obviously is set up for the Volcarona, that's why I have the Rock Slide here. If he brings out the Volcarona versus my Tangrowth, I would just go for Rock Slide and kill it. Like I don't expect it to attack me. If he comes out on Tangrowth, he just wants to like set up on me probably. So that's where Rock Slide is here. Toxic just to hit Rotom Heat, Zapdos, or Melodic on the switch. I don't really expect Melodic to want to come out on me, but if it does, I can easily Toxic it, and it's a backup check to like Scald burns from Melodic. If it doesn't pack the Ice Beam, it hits me with a Scald and burns me. Obviously I cannot like Power Whip it for good damage, but I would just Toxic it and then like wear it down. He has a Heal Bella on his team in Gramble, but I really don't expect Gramble to come, and I can easily revenge it with stuff like Aggron or Nidoqueen or even the Victini. So that's not his best check to like Tangrowth, and just not a solid option on his team overall with my squad because like the only reason he could bring it was like if he's really afraid of status, and that's like basically just dumb to do. Like he has no reason to bring Gramble, to be honest. So yeah, that's like the Tangrowth set for this week. Very very simple as well, but like fits a like very important role on my on my team this week, just to like be able to check physical Lucario, maybe Bandit Flygon even, um, like to take an outrage if he wants to lock himself into it, and then make it able to pivot out into Aggron or Aromatisse and like just deal with it better. Um, yeah, next up I have my Crobat here, the mascot. Coming like again, I think I brought it to like 5 or 6 games already. Didn't expect to do that like when I drafted it, but it always does a very solid job. Mm, this Crobat here with the nice infiltrator ability um, lets me check special Lucario. Like I'm not too KO'd by a life orb timid flash cannon. For example, I can take a +2 flash cannon from Lucario as well. If he wants to run psychic, so be it. Like he has to like give up a lot of move slots to hit my entire team. So if he wants to bring dual step and then like psychic or dark pulse, one of these two with like Nasty Plot as his last move, I can easily switch in my Victini every time on that thing, or my Crobat. No item this week just to make sure I can like deal with Mega Absol better if I want to, and like to get my acrobatics because I cannot go for Brave Bird and put myself in range for some attacks from, for example, a Volt Switch from Road and Heat, something Lucario wants to do, Dragon Claw from Flygon, stuff like that. Like I have to be a nice amount of health to be able to check the Lucario as well as the Volcarona. +1 Fiery Dance does not knock me out with this set, so I can like come in on that one if rocks aren't up. Defog obviously here to defog rocks away on my side. I don't want them up on my side, but he doesn't have like the most reliable rockers. I think he only has the Cradily, which gets up rocks, and that thing isn't a threat. I can easily wear it down. It gives me basically a switch into Victini because like he cannot hit me really hard, so that's kind of cool. Besides that, he doesn't even have a rocker. That's like pretty nice. But just in case, I want to defog this week because like I want my Victini to come in very often and like get get off huge hits versus everything. U-turn obviously for momentum to scout like what his initial switch in is for this thing, probably stuff like Zapdos or Rotom. Static Zapdos would be annoying if I go for U-turn and like get parried, but I have a Cleric in the back, so that shouldn't be too bad. Infiltrator is nice if you want to set up screens with Rotom. That's another reason why I have defog because like he could potentially run like dual screens with Rotom Heat to like set up with Mega Absol or something like that, or Volcarona, would be a very solid game plan. But I have default to get rid of these screens, and if you want to bring screens plus Volcarona or like even SD Virizion or something, Infiltrator ignores Reflect and Light Screen, and I can just hit both of them with a Stab Acrobatic, super effective hit will knock both of them out after like some prior damage. Hits Virizion like for 180% or something, so the thing goes clean down. And like Volcarona is dealt with as well after like a nice little hit before that. And even then, like I do 80% and put it in range for everything Victini wants to do. Still, Volcarona obviously is a big threat, so I have to keep my Crobat healthy. I will probably go for Roost more often than not. Like maybe if I'm out versus my Melodic or something, even if I have to risk the Scald Burn, like I gotta get back to full health with this thing. Speed is here to outspeed Mega Absol, obviously. Very simple, I guess. And besides that, like the rest is dumped in Spadef to take hits from Lucario to not be killed by a Thunderbolt from defensive Rotom, to take hits from Volcarona, Melodic, bullshit like that. So Tangrowth and Crobat here, like basically my two checks to most of his attackers. Next up, I have Life of Nidoqueen. Very, very offensive this week. 4 attacks. Modest. Max special attack, obviously. Sludge Wave, Ice Beam, Earth Pound, Thunderbolt. He actually does not have a switch into this thing. It, the only thing that can come in is a Conkeldurr with an Assault Vest. But even then, like, Sludge Wave does 45% or something. So it has a chance, like, to 2-hit KO after 2 rounds of rock damage. And an Ice Punch would not even knock me out from an Assault Vest Conkeldurr. So expect the switch to be like probably like Flygon or something to take a Sludge Wave as a resisted hit and then like pivot out on me, or the Melodic. And Melodic actually has a very good chance to die to the combination of Sludge Wave and the Thunderbolt. So I'm very free to Sludge Wave on the first turn if he doesn't bring like Lucario. And he has no reason to bring a Lucario on Nidoqueen because he cannot kill me and I can just hit it with a big Earth Power. So there's that. After rocks, Sludge Wave plus Thunderbolt actually is a kill on Melodic, so he cannot Miracle kill me with that. And like, if he switches in on the Sludge Wave, he would probably go for recover anyway on the next turn. So I could potentially just stay in a Thunderbolt, but I think I'll just try to like go with some damage, like with some prior damage on Melodic to be able to 2-hit KO it with this Nidoqueen set. Besides that, everything on his squad is 2-hit KO. Like even specially defensive, Cradily cannot take 2 Ice Beams. I'm very, very sure. Obviously, Volcarona at +1 can take 2 Earth Powers, but it has to set up first to be able to tank my hit. He could run some obscure AV user like Melodic or something, but then again, like, it's very easy to wear stuff like that down because it doesn't get any recovery if it runs AV. So definitely one of my win conditions this week. Hits incredibly hard. The speed is here to speed creep uninvested base 100 mons, and to speed creep mons that want to speed creep my uninvested base 100. Like Rotom Heat, for example, if it wants to go with 121 or 122 speed to speed creep, for example, Victini or something, I can just like outrun that and get a big hit off and revenge kill it. For example, after rocks if it's an offensive variant like Slutwave would just kill it then. Yeah, I expect this thing to put in a lot of work. I think Nidoqueen came to like 7 games now or 6 games already. Always put in the work, like got up rocks every game basically when I had to do it. Got some big hits off with like its great dual stab and shield for Slapop. One of the MVPs this season. So yeah, I hope I can do some work with it again. Next up I have my Aromatisse, my girl Mia Wallace here. With the Aroma Reveal ability, obviously, don't think that will come into play unless he runs like a weird taunt Mega Absol and wants to stay in or something. Very interesting spread here, I guess. Standard set with Moonblast, which actually hits his entire team besides the Rotom, so I can do like get some hefty chunks off on him. Like nothing really appreciates besides Melodic and Volcarona, obviously. Or Volcarona is another one that like can take Moonblast rather well, but then I have the chance to get like the nice special attack drop that could really help me out, but that's not the main goal. It's just the main goal of Aromatisse. It's just here to like get wishes off, make it easier for me to switch into stuff. Aromatherapy away the Scald Burns from Melodic and maybe Thunder Waves or Will-O-Wisp from Rotom Heat and stuff like that. And maybe even Static Paras from Zapdos. The spread, I don't really know anymore what's it here for. I think I can take one Timid Life or Flash Can from Lucario with that. I can take 2 Overheats from Modest Rotom if it's not Life Orb. I can, like, it's basically my best check to an offensive Rotom Heat that I have on my roster. I'm never too KO'd by Conkeldurr, I'm pretty sure, unless he knocks off my leftovers first. Mega Absol cannot touch me besides him with an Iron Tail, which will not kill me, unless he's like boosted with Sword Slam. Flygon cannot 2 KO me unless it's Banded, I think. And yeah, overall this spread allows me to like basically never be 2-hit KO'd by anything else but Lucario's Flash Cannon or Iron Tail and Mega Absol's Iron Tail. Besides that, I can tank any one hit, so that's pretty cool, I guess. Besides that, like very standard set. I like kind of toyed around with offensive Aromatisse sets these last couple of weeks, but I never thought it would be the right thing not to bring a Cleric. Because my team doesn't have the best ways of recovery. Obviously, Tagroth only has the Regenerator, because Synthesis on the Regenerator mon is absolute garbage, you should never run that. Crobat has a tough time roosting upwards some sets, and my last one, my Mega Aggron, obviously doesn't get any recovery, so the Wish and Aromatherapy support actually is very helpful. So that's the reason why I bring the same Cleric set every week, that I bring Aromatisse. But still puts in a lot of work, obviously. Like, it allows me to bring in stuff on some resisted hits or even some neutral hits, like, and get back up to full with this massive wishes I can pass. So yeah, that's kind of nice, I guess. And the last one I bring is the Mega Aggron. Heavy Slam, Stealth Rock, Earthquake, Toxic, Max Spadef, because with this spread, yeah, you don't need any defense. Like, it hits 251 defense after Mega Evolving and can take on stuff like close combats from Lucario or Virizion with ease. I don't think I'm too KO'd by any of those unless it's like Adamant, Life of Lucario or something like that. Conkeldurr doesn't 2-hit KO me with Brain Punch or anything else. Zapdos obviously can Heat Wave me, but that would do like 30% from especially defensive Zapdos. And I can just like fire off Toxic on his entire team because I don't expect Melodic to come. And like just be able to wear stuff down. Melodic obviously is probably the first switch into that, and I can just Toxic it if he wants to Scald me, and obviously give him the Marvel scale boost, but that doesn't really matter versus me because like Toxic just wears down Melodic and makes it kind of useless. It doesn't make it a switch in anymore for Victini, for example. So that's pretty cool because like it gets rid of leftovers and then we create 2 chaos and shit like that. Stealth Rock, obviously, because I can actually get up Stealth Rocks versus everything besides the Rotom, or maybe a special Mega Apple with Fire Blast. But besides that, I think everyone hit and like can just fire off big damage on everything, or just get a Toxic off, get up Stealth Rock that he has to defog away with Flygon or Zapdos, which gives me extra momentum and some prior damage that I need so that Victini basically can sweep him. That's the team for this week. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a comment and a like and let me know what you think about the squad. I'm very confident I can get a win here, but you never know. So be hyped for that. Battle goes up tomorrow, obviously, on Sunday, as it always does. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed and see ya in the battle.